Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. This is Atlanta, the Atlanta Hawks. Everybody knows about Atlanta. The culture, the people, the rappers, the ballers, even the scammers, the flashy people, the drug dealers, the hoods, the zones, the violence in the parties. Freaknik happened in Atlanta. That's a once in a lifetime thing that happened in the 90s. You might want to go look that one up. T-Pain made a whole cartoon about it. Everyone comes from Atlanta, and if you're plugged in Atlanta, then you're almost plugged in a few other major metropolitan cities as well. Because Atlanta is synonymous with New York, LA, and cities like that because they made themselves that way and they've become almost like a black hub for new ideas and things to come. So, here we have the point guard Kenny Anderson coming out of Queens, New York, played really good basketball in high school, was tops in the country, finished with the most points. That's 2,600 in his senior year in high school. That's the most in New York. It was broken by Sebastian Telfair when he was in Lincoln High School, the one before Lance Stevenson. Kenny Anderson went to Georgia Tech. That's where he honed his high school skills into something a little bit more pro savvy. So he got drafted to the Nets and really did his thing. Averaged like 20 points a game. Then we have Lou Hudson. He was a guard for the Atlanta Hawks in the 70s. Played for the Hawks from 69 to 70. He played with Pete Maravich back when they had the blue and lime green jerseys. I know you remember those. So Lou Hudson could shoot the mid-range. He can shoot the three. Back when, they invented the three because, in 1970 they didn't have three-pointers. But he could shoot from range, basically. So he had a little bit of dribbling skills. Playmaking skills were cool. Passing skills were cool. But mostly, he played with Pete Maravich, and Pete Maravich had the ball mostly. So Lou Hudson knew how to come off screens and, catch and shoot, basically. And he knew how to basically bail them out when Pete Maravich was getting triple teamed and stuff like that. So Dominique Wilkins is the king of Atlanta right now. Not right now, but when he was. Right now, in the game, he's the king of Atlanta because he's currently playing for the Hawks. He played for the Hawks in the 80s. Really came into his own in 85. They have a national championship, just one. He has one ring. He dunked the ball really hard. That's why the Atlanta fans loved him. He went one-on-one with Michael Jordan in the dunk contest in the 80s, back when the stars of the league were in the dunk contest. It looked like he was just going to break the rim every time he dunked, honestly. It looked like something that people have never seen before, because it was just ridiculousness every time he jumped. Like, he didn't care who was in the way or nothing. Josh Smith, another razzle dazzle dunker. Remember him from the 2005 dunk contest. He ended up winning that one. People loved him. He ended up putting the Dominique Wilkins jersey on even. Funny how things come full circle. But Josh Smith was 6'9", 220, 225. Had hops out the ass, obviously. can dunk on anyone in traffic, had blocks constantly. He was one of the originators, him and LeBron are one of the originators of that chase down block, where someone is so athletic that they can chase down someone on a fast break and end up swatting that joint from running a mile away. So, fast breaks have come a long way in the NBA when it comes to athletic people, and one of those pioneers of that is Josh Smith. Dwight Howard, defensive guy, gets rebounds, dunks, played for the Orlando Magic a lot of his career, then became a journeyman after. But before all that, my man is from Atlanta. He was drafted out of high school, didn't play for college, but here he is playing for his high school at Georgia Tech. 6'10", 265. People thought he was going to be the next Shaq because he was drafted in 2004. So Shaq just came off a three-peat, and then he just came off losing to the Pistons in 2003, 2004. So the next draft was looking for basically the next guy that was going to be Shaq after Shaq got a little bit older, and that was supposed to be Dwight Howard. Tyrell Brandon is a pretty good guard, 6'1", very shifty, can finish at the rim, can shoot the ball also, excellent dribbling skills, can pass the ball very well, pretty good playmaking. I mean, he's just one of those guys that's just very solid all around. He ended up playing for the Timberwolves later in his career with Kevin Garnett. But Tyrell Brandon is just one of those guys that's just someone that you can come off the bench with, or if your starter is injured, you're not going to be sweating bullets because Tyrell Brandon knows exactly what to do, especially in the system. Just to be a 6'1" guy, barely 200, but he does exactly what you need him to do. Antonio Daniels, 6'4", 210. Can do everything, not exactly great at anything. Shake Milton, 6'5", 200. A point guard, /2/3. Norman Powell, 6'3". He can play the 2. He can play the 4 if you want to, if you're really desperate. Tristan Thompson might get in trouble in Atlanta. Who knows? 6'9", 240. Danielle Marshall, 6'9", also, but his skills are a little bit different. Here he is shooting 12 threes in a game. He had the record for most threes in a game. He can hit low posts and a little bit mid-range better than low post, but he's mostly a three-point shooter. He was one of those stretch fours back when, stretch four wasn't necessarily that popular. But the only person that beat this record was Kobe Bryant. And then after that, I think maybe Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. But this record stood for a very long time. Or it seemed like it was going to, because Danielle Marshall was just hitting them things back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? This shit look crazy. This is against the 76ers, by the way, against Allen Iverson. So, Royce O'Neal, 6'5" forward, can shoot. Dwight Powell, 6'11", center power forward, can rebound, go to the rim, has a little bit of sneaky hops. And then Javonte Green, he's a rookie prospect, still developing. And then we have Doc Rivers, the head coach. He was a teammate of one of the players on the Hawks That is Dominique Wilkins. He played in the 80s. He also has a ring with Dominique. Had some hops, can shoot, but was mostly a passing point guard. And I told you, the role players are usually the best in management. We got a defensive IQ, perimeter defense, and layups is strength. And then strength is a weakness. But this is the Atlanta Hawks, y'all.